live 304 Studios in Jonesboro, Arkansas. This is an STSPOD.club production. I'm BT, and over there, well, that's my buddy Lance. There's no truth to the rumor that he cried during the retirement of Sting. You know why? Because he's a cold-hearted motherfucker, son of a bitch. Oh, forget it. And he's from Chicago, where this morning one killed in a road rage shooting on I-80 and 94 in northwest Indiana. Considered Chicago, one is in custody. I can't even say that. He is the snark of excellence, my partner in crime, your friend of mine. Well, sometimes. He's Lance Levine, and we are the two best little podcasters in the business. How are you, Lance?
Two tastiest snacks, I thought.
Oh, man, I try to come up with something new. We got to come up with something new every once in a while. Yeah.
All right. Well, we're here in the Oreos Dirt Cake Studios here in Chicago, not Northwest Indiana. It is not the same thing. I'm sorry.
Same thing. Chicago.
No. Someone says, where are you from? And they say Naperville. Oh, Chicago. No, it's not the same thing. It's an hour apart. So
it's the same crime, too.
And Cold-Hearted, isn't that Hook? That's not me. Cold-Hearted, Handsome Devil is Hook.
Oh.
That ain't me. The future champion of AEW.
Oh, God.
Can't even say that with a straight face.
So, all right, man. This is episode 44 of DYN-O-MITE and episode 807 of STS Pod. I want to tell you something. Episode 689, Revolution, and that's what we're fixing to do. Revolution was top 3 most played episodes last year, so we had to do it. We only do the main pay-per-views because if we did the other pay-per-views, we'd be doing one every 3 weeks. So Revolution, DYN-O-MITE, and we have new format. We'll make sure that Lance follows this. We do hits,
do my best.
Misses, MVP. We do the OMG moment of the night. What's happening? What's happening? And must see. Let's start out with you. Hits. What's your hits for the night?
Well, I think it's interesting. You and I have not talked about the show. We don't.
Not. See, that's what we do. You read everything and look at what everybody else says. You do the thread. And I don't talk to no one, and I don't even look on the net for the results or anything. So if I say something about what's happening or blah, 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 and you know what's happening with it, go ahead and say something because I barely watch the scrum.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the Sting part. I wanted to make sure I saw the Sting part. But my buddy Bull texted me and said, you want to talk about the pay-per-view? And I was like, nope. Since Bull talks like that, he's like, well, you want to talk about pay-per-view? I don't know why I do that when I'm talking about someone the way they talk. So you
try to isolate yourself from everything. I do. Well, no, I don't. I thought in this case, it was interesting because you and I really, for 48 hours, we really barely talked about the show at all. So this is going to be all like me revealing what I thought and vice versa.
Well, we do that. We try to do that every time just to make sure that we're not, I don't know what you're going to think ahead of time. Yeah. That's what I really like. I like to be able to.
So we talked about this ahead of time. We both went into this show with pretty low expectations. There was very little buzz for AEW on this show. If you look at past history, the last 6-8 months, the TV has been and the heat of the product has been but the pay-per-views have always been pretty consistently good.
I actually thumbs down the last 2 pay-per-views. So I think it really made me think, are we going to get another shitty show kind of thing?
Mm-hmm,
So,
So starting with the hits, my hits actually, I know Richard invented the list, so we have to give props to Richard for inventing the list. But my list actually goes somewhat chronological for the show. So I have.
Oh, that's weird. It's weird how that does that.
No, I mean, because you could go all over the place in terms.
We always do it.
They kind of go in order of the show. So anyway, I start with Christian being heel of the year. I love Dom Mysterio, but heel of the year, Christian's work is just phenomenal. So I love Christian's work. That's always going to be a hit for me. I love the roughness and the stiffness of the work with Danielson and Kingston. I thought that was amazing. They just had some chemistry. Orange and Roderick Strong, I thought, had a really good chemistry too. The first matches, you don't like Orange, but Orange and Strong, I thought, had a good chemistry. I saw that title change coming. I thought Daniel Garcia and Christian also good chemistry. So that's kind of a consistent theme for me. The BBC or the BCC or whatever the fuck they are coming out as the Road Warriors. I thought that was kind of funny and kind of cool. There's Chicago fans that are definitely going to like that. If you had Dax being bloody before Moxley on your bingo card, you won because Mox didn't even bleed on that show, but Dax was gushing. So that was a real good match. Gave it 4 stars. Ospreay, clearly a face. I don't know what the fuck is going on with Ospreay and Takeshita, and now Ospreay and going with the Callis for more Callis matches. But match of the year contender, that was outstanding. 2 months into the year, and we're already got a match of the year contender. The crowd was red hot. I had that one at 5 stars. Title match was great. Crisp action from all three. I thought that was 3 professionals given it everything they had. Joe retaining wasn't exactly what I was thinking was going to happen, but they got to go with Swerve eventually, really soon before the momentum stops. So I had that at 4 stars. But the number one hit, what else could you go with? It's Sting's retirement. I thought perfectly done, just perfectly done. I thought the Bucks were perfect douchebag, hateable heels for that, hateable opponents for him and Darby. I love the movie theater deal where they showed the highlights of Sting's career in the movie theater. I thought that was a great segment. Obviously, Darby put that together because Darby's a film student. I thought Sting's kids coming out as old incarnations of Sting it was cheesy as hell, but it was good and it worked. You know,
loved it. I absolutely loved it. I really
absolutely
did.
cheesy, but it was great because the one kid is kind of doughy. So him coming out in the Sting red.
Boy, I'd like to be doughy like that. I knew he was going to make fun of me.
No, Jesus, I'm not making fun of him. It looked kind of, like I said, the whole thing was cheesy, but it worked. It totally worked. So Sting busted his ass, suplexed off the stage, power bomb through a table. The man is 64 years old. Run through a pane of glass. Just an absolute pitch perfect retirement for this guy. Thought perfectly done. Clearly, the hit of the show was the Sting retirement.
Loved. Let me go ahead. I'll agree with you with that. With hits. Nigel was announcing. I love that hit. Believe it or not, I like Jim Ross also for the final 2 matches he was there. And also Mother Wayne. That's a hit for me, Mother Wayne. Mother Wayne, let me just tell you, and I'll tell the wife I said this, you can call me daddy anytime you want to. Woo, baby. Wrestling Observer Awards reference, kind of a joke. It was really funny. Crowd was hot. Yeah. Meat forever. Well, they were hot, except during the girls' match. Yeah. Meat forever was being chanted. I
thought they were saying yeet. It wasn't yeet?
I thought they were saying meat forever instead of fight forever. They were saying meat. Someone else said they were saying yeet, but there was 4 big, huge guys, and this is AEW was saying meat. Kyle O'Reilly coming back. How's that a hit? God, if I don't know, but it meant something to me, and it meant something to the AEW people, but I don't know if it meant anything to anyone else. It was a hit for me. Mox and Cesaro, I still call him Cesaro. Roadies, they came out as the Roadies. I love that. The girls' match, I got a hit about the girls' match.
What?
Yes, we had a snooch kick. Did you see that snooch kick? Loved it. Loved the Sting entrance with the Sting's kids. The non-doughy one. I'm sorry. I mean, that's Lance's reference to you, dude. You looked awesome. Both of you looked awesome. The one that did the NWO Sting, the Wolfpack Sting, he may be a worker. Who knows? He had a lot of potential there, especially since Sting started out only doing a couple moves anyway. So awesome. Everything you said about Sting in that match, just exactly what it was supposed to be. Mm-hmm. Could we have had anything better? Is what I just absolutely loved it. And the kids being there meant something to them, for shoot, as they say in the business, and it meant something to Sting too. Loved it. That was my hits. My hits for Revolution.
You mentioned something about the fact that Nigel was announcing, and I forgot it. I forgot this in my notes, but I have it in my original notes. There were two lines. The Nigel line started the night for me. And I don't know if you didn't watch the pre-show, you may not have heard this one, but Nigel on the pre-show, he was talking about the Bang Bang Scissor Gang, and he says Bang Bang Scissor Gang sounds like something Shivani would pay for on OnlyFans. That was a great line. That was one. And then the other line wasn't him. The other line was Excalibur, and he said during the Sting match, he said there are car crashes, and then there's this. And I love that line too. It wasn't funny by any means, but it was a great line. So two fantastic lines. When you mentioned the Nigel being
Nigel had all kinds of stuff. Yeah. He loves
such a great heel. Needling so many, like needling Excalibur, needling Brian too. Brian Danielson.
Well, he loves Christian Cage. So we get a lot of references to Christian Cage. And then, like you said, he's worked Brian before, so you get to, and that match, big time hit at just that match. Brian Danielson is always going to have a good match, and he's one of my favorite, of all time. So I enjoy his matches. All right, go ahead. What's your misses?
My misses list is pretty short for this one. So I'm going to say the layout for the Meet Forever or whatever the fuck that was called, the 8-man scramble. The layout of that match was so dumb to me because at the beginning you had all of the faces were shit canned and you got all 4 heels are left in the ring and they're going at it. Then you have all 4 heels shit canned and the faces are, I'm like, it's so choreographed. It was so annoying to me.
I know I hate to tell you this, and you're going to probably cry.
I know.
You're probably going to cry about this, but wrestling is choreographed.
Yeah. Okay. Well, breaking news. We're breaking it on Dynamite here. So another miss was you touched on it. The Purrazzo and Tony Storm match was just such a blah. Like,
and the crowd just died. Can you? I'm going to say something about that match, but can you see that? I told my mom did not get to watch the pay-per-view, Mama. I love you, Mama. But I talked to her about it, and I said they popped for the entrance, and then they popped for the finish, but then they said something, a little chant, a little bit. But man, you talk about a popcorn match. You are so right. Big miss there.
It was just Purrazzo is just boring to me. I'm sorry, it's just boring in the first place. So
I'd like to be boring with her, if you know what I mean.
That did not help. So all right, but my number one miss, and I don't know if you saw it, but the opening match with the stupid chitty chitty bang bang or whatever the fuck.
It doesn't count. That's not even a match. It wasn't even on a pay-per-view.
27-man tag, whatever it was. I felt sorry for Willie Mack getting shoehorned in there for no reason to eat the pin. Basically, I feel sorry for Jay White being stuck in that fucking gimmick of a 6-man babyface faction. The whole thing is just dumb. It was the worst match of the night, and it was one of the only misses. That and the fact that
I'm gonna start making a rule about that fucking 0 hour. I hate even talking about it because it doesn't even count. It's free. You have to pay for this. Speaking of, I had a hard time again getting the pay-per-view, even though I was paying for it.
A lot of people,
bitches.
So those are my only misses. So what do you got?
I got a whole list of misses. I'm making a list like my buddy Richard. They used to do some podcast or something, and then they started playing music on the background, and it went to shit. All right. So here is I'm doing something different with my misses. Every miss that I tell you is the reason why they'll never become as popular as the WWE. It doesn't have anything to do with WWE has, as Meltzer says, a 50-year start, a blah, blah, 100-year start. These are the things that will keep them from getting, they'll have this fan base, and it's been proven over and over. They have 800,000 people watching Sting's last TV appearance or match or whatever the other night. So here we go. Danielson shaking hands with Eddie after the match when they did all those promos leading up to it and him saying he was a bum and all that. Miss. The scramble, as you said, let me say something, and you probably agree with me here. when it comes to an independent show, if you put 5 guys that are good, solid workers, that is a fun match to watch. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
That was horrible. Why do all those people have to be on a fucking pay-per-view? Give them a day off.
Yeah.
Hook's a miss. He is never, ever would he be in a WWE ring. Not believable. Orange Cassidy, Strong, neither one of them. Neither was Strong was in WWE and he couldn't get out of NXT. And that fucking stupid orange punch. Ugh. I said Kyle O'Reilly was a hit, but he's a miss too because no one knows who the fuck he is. Blood. They have to have blood no matter what. Blood should be for a cage match or something like the Sting match. Man, I'm talking a lot with my hands today. Blood. That's another reason. Tony versus just the girls match. I want to say the girls in the WWE suck too, but they're better trained overall. Tony was there, but guess what? She's gone. The crowd was completely dead. Miss. Joe being champ, you mentioned this. One of those guys should have won, and we know which one. It's Swerve. But you know what? Joe being world champion, never going to happen to WWE. That mustache will keep Hangman from being anywhere in the WWE except maybe the first match. And Swerve, who was in the WWE, will never, that gear he wore will never get him into WWE. Never. Miss. Darby Allin in that fucking glass for no fucking reason. By the way, Lance, was that real glass?
Crimea River.
Stupid. Fucking stupid. And guess what else wouldn't be there? Ric Flair in the ring getting beat up and super kicked and all that horse shit. Mm-hmm. There's my missus for Revolution.
Man.
Woo!
Pretty sure it was real glass. Pretty sure it was.
I think maybe it was, yeah. The
sure.
reason I said that, guys, we always text each other when there's thumbtacks or glass, and you say, "Was it real glass? Was it real thumbtack?" And all I could do is when I saw Darby Allin was, oh my god, his glass. I was like, I think Lance knows that's real. So, all right, Lance, who was your MVP? Come on, tell me who was your MVP.
You're not going to like this. So on my list of MVP, my runner-up is Sting for going as hard as he did at 64 years old. I had to look it up. The man.
Hold on, let me get the boo ready if I'm not going to like it.
Get the boo ready. You're not going to like it. But Sting was my runner-up, but my guy was Darby on this one because he said he was going to spill a gallon of blood for Sting's final match, and he pretty much spilled a gallon of blood for Sting's final match. We'll talk about the glass coming up as far as my OMGs, but spoiler alert. But Darby just busted his ass, and you knew he was going to. I mean, he's obviously going to have to do the lion's share of the work in that match, and he did, but Sting put out as well. So took you.
How did he get MVP? You know what, Lance? You
MVP. Love that guy.
MVP by falling in glass. Is that what you're saying?
He busted his ass. That wasn't the only spot in the match. He busted his ass the entire match.
I love Darby Allin, by the way. I thought the match was exactly, you talk about garbage wrestling. We needed a garbage wrestling in that match, and I loved that match. It meant something, but that spot could have been left out, and I would have been all right. MVP, I got to give it to the man. I got to give it to Sting. That's right. Revolution MVP Sting. And right now, Lance, we usually take a commercial break.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to take a commercial break, a fake one.
All right.
We're going to come right back.
A fake one.
And guess what? We're going to keep it going. We're not going to break it. We're not going to really break it, except if you're on the audio feed. You'll get a commercial break right now. For this weekend, Sunday, the Wrestle Center.
Ooh.
We'll be right back for halftime. All right. Halftime.
It's Curry Man over there.
All right, halftime. And I think everyone that sent in comments about halftime, especially John, we released an episode the last during the Super Bowl at halftime, and he said how much fun he had with that show. So this is what we do at the middle. And if you're always breaking at the commercial break, you're missing it unless you go to the audio. Okay, Lance, I came up with this as I was sitting here working on rolling into Memphis. Love the Sting retirement. Love the way they did what they did with him, and then giving the rub to Darby Allin, and then and making him a star. One of the very few guys they have made a star. And he's huge. To me, he's a huge star. And even though I'm going to blast him for that stupid glass, still he did with that. So my question is, who else could AEW do this retirement thing with, and have them with a legend that they currently have on the roster, and they could get a rub like this and it means something? And I'm not going to say you can come up with the answer, because you may not have let's do it with this guy. But who, just right off the cuff, without you knowing, who would you think?
I mean, Danielson is obviously retiring, or at least semi-retiring, so they've got to do something with that. Although obviously not nearly as old as Sting. As far as other legends that they're linked up with, I mean, they've got, is Arn Anderson still on the payroll?
No, he's not.
Yeah,
no.
He's gone.
But he's already retired.
Yeah, I was going to say, not that he can still work either. So I don't know. I mean, Flair, obviously way too old. And I mean, it was so awkward. Like you said, it was so awkward seeing him in there. A year after we saw him, more than a year after we saw him in Nashville, working the last match. I don't know. I'd have to think about it. Brian is the first one that comes to mind. They got to do something special with him as he's winding it down.
I came up with this and was going to text you with it like 2 or 3 weeks ago when I started watching Jeff Hardy's matches. And he was just back to the old Jeff Hardy, flawless, boom, boom, boom. Yeah. I know they tried to do something with Matt and Private Party and everything. I don't know the person, but I think if Matt Hardy said, I'm retiring at Revolution next year, blah, 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 they could get somebody to rub with him. And Matt could have a hell of a dude. I know I'm going to say this and people are going to go, what the hell? I would rather have him as champ than any day than have Hangman as champion. I love Joe, but Joe is not the guy to run as champion. If you were going to do something with that match that I shit on, and like you said, you should have went with this time. It should have went with Swerve, and it's just weird that they didn't do that. But I would do something with Matt Hardy. I did, not Matt, but Jeff, and I don't know what I would do with Matt after that, and I don't know who I would put him with. That might have to be somebody new, but that's who I would do. I think Jeff could do a good send-off and have some really good matches, just like Sting did.
I think that the Jeff Hardy pick is a good one. I hadn't thought of him because he's got to be winding down too. He can still go. We've seen it the last few weeks on TV. Matt really can't. Matt's pretty hobbled. So I think you link up Jeff Hardy. I mean, I hate to say that they've already ruined Action Andretti, but they had something with that kid and they just pissed it away. You know, I feel like the
problem with him and all those guys is they're so good and they don't do anything different. I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's just really weird. It's like you said, they just piss them off. You got a guy like Dante Martin, who for some reason looked better when he first started than he does now. I think he's scared he's going to get injured or something. You get that.
He was working tentative. I thought he was working tentative. So, but I think that the Jeff Hardy pick is good, and go with one of these younger guys. But you can't go with Andretti at this point. You got to go with somebody. I mean, I know you hate Orange.
But you don't have to do that with Orange. That's the thing. He's over. He doesn't. Darby was over, but man, you put him with Sting. Jesus.
It was a great rub for Darby for sure.
Yeah, Orange is worthless. All right, Lance, you know what time it is? It was time for halftime, and that's it. Halftime, and I can't find
Now back to the game.
Here we go. All right. We need to know, too, before we head on. 66 days. Woo! That's right. 66 days since an incident. I did walk through the house one time this week, and I said, we almost had to start at 0, Misty. The wife. I said,
wife.
All right, tell me. And I know what it is because I know what it is, all right? OMG moment. Oh, my God, of the night.
All right, OMG on my list. My runners-up are Mariah May in Toni Storm cosplay. That was an OMG moment for me. I'm sorry. We talked about, you mentioned how the Toni Storm and Deanna match was so blah. We both said it was so blah. I think part of that, for me, Deanna is boring, but then part of that too is the Toni gimmick is kind of limiting as far as what she's doing in the ring. She's no longer that hardworking Toni Storm that she was in WWE and NXT. And when she first got here, she worked harder too. She worked harder for sure, but I think this gimmick is limiting her. As entertaining as the gimmick can be, it not always is, but it can be.
What was the OMG moment with Toni Storm and who?
The fact that Mariah May dressed as old Toni Storm. That was an OMG when she first came out, I thought. And then there was about a 3-minute sequence in the Ospreay and Takeshita match where you couldn't breathe. It was all so fast paced. That was OMG. I was just loving the sequence in that match. But my OMG moment, here you go, get the boo ready. It was the Darby dive off the ladder and the glass literally exploding. Was it necessary? No. Was it spectacular or memorable? Of course. Is it like basically it's the Mick Foley going off the cell? That's going to be remembered as.
Here, you know why it's not? Because they do this shit every fucking week on TV.
That one was spectacular. The way the glass shattered,
my God.
It literally exploded into the front row. I mean, people are getting, I'm sure there's.
I thought it was awesome. I agree with you. OMG moment of the night, Revolution, Darby Allin going, and you would compare that to the Tony. Oh, wow. Darby Allin going through the glass, boom. I loved it. OMG. I said, motherfucker, what? And then, like I said earlier, we also had the answer to our question. Was it real? Yeah, it was real. I didn't think he was coming back. I really didn't.
Dude, his back, I've never seen anybody.
I don't think it'll be
think
it'll be remembered after Revolution. It's no way is it the moment.
It's but linked it was to the Sting retirement. That's the thing. That's what's going to keep it memorable is the fact that it's linked to the Sting
that's
retirement.
Not what it's his kids coming out is what's going to make not some stunt guy falling off and hitting glass for no reason. All right, we'll disagree, but I thought it was the OMG moment of the night for various other reasons.
Yeah.
All right, what's happening? What's happening, Lance? Let me tell you what's happening. Let me do it first. Let me do it first.
Okay.
What's happening? You know, we've seen that scramble match. We've seen some interviews. Wardlord won the match. What are they doing with him? What's happening with him? And what's happening with the tag team titles? What's happening? They're going to make them vacant? Is that what they're doing? Or are they going to let Darby pick somebody to be his partner? What's happening? That's what's happening for me. What's happening for you, man?
What's happening with Deonna Purrazzo? Is she off to ROH hell? Is that pretty much she's going to get exiled to cable or not even cable anymore?
Man, you got a bug up your ass about Deonna. You always insult her all the time.
What's happening with Darby? Is he going on to singles? Is it a big singles career now? You got to put a belt on him. They have 50 belts. So, I mean, you got to put one belt on him at least. You got to put some meaningful belt, not the intergender global metropolitan title or whatever the fuck.
The Triple C title.
You mentioned the tag titles. What's happening with the tag titles? I think with the success of the Continental Classic and that tournament format, I think they want to do that again. And I think
that might be. Yeah, I'll do that.
A tournament, and they're going to hopefully pick the best tag teams that they have.
I'm a tag team art, by the way. I don't know if you knew that, but
I have heard rumors of such. But I think what they're going to end up doing with the heel Bucks, they're going to do a tournament, and the heel Bucks are going to announce that because of who they are, they have a bye to the finals or something. So increasing their heel heat, and they'll get a bye straight to the finals, and they'll have everybody else fighting over it to get there. But my main what's happening is with Swerve. What are they doing with Swerve, and when are they going to crown Swerve? So you and I told you ahead of time. They kept talking about he could be the first black AEW world champion.
Yeah, I knew that wasn't going to be a reason to give him the title. So
then why say that and not deliver on this pay-per-view? I think it gives them a bad look. If you say it there, then do it there. Pull the trigger there and make him the champion.
Doesn't bother me. No.
They shouldn't have even brought that up until closer to the actual pay-per-view where they're going to make that happen. So when are they going to make Swerve champ? Because like we both said, the momentum is there. You got to ride that wave, and you can't cash in when it's already on its downslide. You got to get. I don't think you can wait till All Out or All In, whichever, to do it. You got to do it sooner. I think you got to do it by Double or Nothing. Maybe that next pay-per-view in St. Louis, but you got to do it soon. You got.
I will not be there, by the way. I will not.
Well, yeah, you got to put pants on to be at a PLE. I'm sorry, not pay-per-view. PLE.
It's weird. Everybody else calls it pay-per-view. Even Meltzer calls it that.
TNA
All right, where are we at? Must see. What was your must see? I have three. What's your must see?
I only have one because,
wow.
And it's not going to be what you think it's going to be. It's Ospreay and Takeshita. I just thought that match was phenomenal. I love that match. Ospreay is on the role of a lifetime, a Kenny Omega-esque role. Kenny, by God, Omega, Will, by God, Ospreay. Even though it's a weird dynamic, and I don't know what the hell they're doing with the whole thing with Don Callis.
Good. You shouldn't know. That's what that keeps you guessing, man.
Very confusing. But that match was just incredible. I'm not the biggest Takeshita fan in the world.
I don't know why, but yeah.
He's good. No doubt about it. He's good, but he's not that level. He's not Ospreay. He's not Omega.
Yes,
he's not Okada. He's not those guys. Those are the elite guys. And he's not. He's underneath that for me.
He's not there yet. I agree, but he is that guy. He's can
good.
Be that guy.
He's good. By no means is he not good.
He's good.
But
he's okay.
I love that match. I just thought that match was phenomenal. So if there's something that's must see, go out of your way to see. It's going to be that one for me.
I agree. I agree 100%. Ospreay and
Kunosuke Takeshita.
And just awesome. I think maybe he could, what he reminds me of, he does remind me of Okada because he reminds me of Okada when Okada was in TNA. He's a little bit better than Okada at the age Okada was, but then Okada got threw into the mix, and just got, the world title and all that. That might have been what he should have done instead of AEW because he's gonna get lost there. But
I
like that
both
man.
Japanese. There's a similarity there. They're both Japanese.
Yeah. I liked three other matches too. I like Danielson and Eddie. I really like that match. FTR, Cesaro, and Mox. Really, they did a lot of psychology, which surprised me. Did a lot of heat going into finishes. I really liked that match. And then Sting's final match. I really enjoyed the match. Like I said, it was garbage wrestling, but garbage wrestling at its best. So there we go. There was my must-sees. And if you'll stick around for Patreon, Lance, I'll tell you what I'm going to do.
What are you going to do?
I'm just going to keep Patreon running too. They can listen to our Patreon. Guys, subscribe. We're going to give it to you for free tonight. I'm going to give it to you if you're watching the video. If you're not watching the video and you're on the main feed of the audio,
no freebies.
We're out of here. Same bad time, same bad channel on the best little wrestling podcast in the business. Be there. And as everyone knows, I love my mama.
I'm trying to look cool here, and you do that, and I lose my composure.
Stop, Lance. You can't look cool when your cap is like that.
I have fun everywhere I go, including meeting Mustafa Ali the other day.
My God. Won't you get a room and see if he'll see you? How much are you going to say about that guy?
Ali we trust.
Oh, the worst gimmick ever. All right, we are on Patreon. If you're doing the audio, you get to hear it. If not, you get to watch us on Patreon. By the way, I am a huge Ali fan. Huge Ali fan
but
because
you
of you.
This gimmick.
That gimmick is horrible, but just horrible. You sent me, said, look at this shirt. That's the lamest plate. I'm sorry. It's just horrible what he's doing. But guess what? It's getting him fucking over, so I can't shit on it. I just shit on it, but I can't shit on it.
It's that weird deal where on TNA he's a heel, doing this.
And they're chanting for him. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I did. it's this weird, like, is it a Trump act? Is that
Yeah,
kind
well,
of what it
like
is?
presidential act. And I love him and
Right.
Saban. Did you see the part with
Yeah.
Saban and him?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love the part where the security people
Yeah.
take him out. Oh, I love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I said, I think it's just goofy, but it's getting him over, so I got to support that part.
But
All
so
right,
the TNA, like I said, TNA, he's a heel doing that, whatever, Trump or presidential act, whatever it is. But then, of course, in Chicago, when
really?
I got
Well,
to
he's
see
from
them
Chicago.
live,
Yeah.
he's from here. He's a cop from here, former cop in Chicago. Of course, cheered up the yin yang, and him and Trey Miguel had a phenomenal match at that show last week.
And we talked about this. I told you before you went, I said, before you go,
Mm-hmm.
I said, I won't, when you get back and let's talk about him, just him, no,
Yeah.
not the match or anything. And I was like, I'd already seen it on, you didn't see the pay-per-view Hard to Kill where he won the belt. I saw it. It was with the Liger suit.
Yeah.
And just the presence. He is one of those guys, and I may be wrong, but he's one of those guys that might get out here on the independent scene like the Galloway and the Cody Rhodes, bust his ass and go back to WWE and become a star, bigger star than he is.
Yeah.
But just he seems so comfortable now. There's no just awesome.
Yeah. I mean, we'll wrap it up with him, but talking to him afterwards, you could tell the guy was so happy to be in the smaller crowd, whatever, 250, 300 people there, but everybody cheering him, loving him. He worked his ass off with Trey Miguel. They had a fantastic match. You could just tell he was so relieved to be out of the big machine. Like you said, could easily go the Cody route of getting,
the thing about it is, here's a guy who benefited from the big machine because everybody knows who he is. And then he had, I tell you what, he started this gimmick in the WWE. He had one thing, and then he just all of a sudden came and started his own independence. I thought that was so awesome that he continued with it. And just think if he was doing this on WWE TV, how over it would be, and they would be booing him. And then TNA, plane went over.
Right there.
Well, maybe, I don't know.
We might have an incident. We might have an incident. He got scared shitless. A plane went overhead.
Woo. All right, here we go. Here's what I want to talk about on Patreon. We always talk about stars, and as you know, I've started the revolutionary thumbs up, thumbs down. I don't do stars anymore, and then we'll do the thumbs down or thumbs up for the show. So start with the main show matches. Right. Christian and Danny Garcia. What'd you give it?
I thought it was Daniel Garcia. Not Danny.
No, it's Danny. I call him
Danny Garcia is Mrs. The Rock, Mrs. The Rock.
I call him Danny with a Y. Yeah, I know him. God, don't you know that?
So Daniel Garcia and father figure, I had it 3 1/4.
I gave it a
down.
Thumbs down. Thumbs down. All right. Incorrect. How about Danielson? You already know this. Kingston and Danielson for the Triple C title. What'd you have it at?
I had Daniel Bryan. Is that what we call him?
Yep.
Daniel Bryan.
No, I call him Bryan Danielson.
Renee called him Daniel Bryan. So Daniel Bryan.
By the way, she looked hot in that suit. God.
And King of the Bums. I had Danielson and King of the Bums at 4.5. I loved it.
All right. How about me? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Oh, yeah, baby. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. All right. Scramble. Thumbs up. Thumbs down. We both know what this is. What did you have it at?
I had it 2 3/4. I mean, there was some okay stuff in there, but just like you said, Hook did not belong in that match, and the whole format I thought was stupid. So as far as the work, 2 3/4.
I thought it was hilarious that you thought they were saying yeet. Who said that?
No, I was kidding. Obviously, they were saying
my
yeet.
bad. Well, here we go. Here's my scramble rating: thumbs up or thumbs down. Hey, if you're watching this on video, you're missing out on these graphics. Man, thumbs down, thumbs down.
Congratulations for putting all that money into those graphics.
Thank you.
All right, so Orange and Roderick Strong. I had it at 3. I thought there was a good long stretch of it. The sudden finish came out of left field, and then the Kyle O'Reilly coming back looking like the Geico caveman caught me off guard. But yeah, I had a 3. I like Orange. I know I like Orange way more than you do.
All right, Orange Cassidy and Strong. Can I call him Roddy Strong? Or
Yeah,
are you going to try to correct me with
No,
that
that's
too?
okay.
Here we go. You just can't help yourself, can you? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Thumbs down, folks. Thumbs down for Strong and Cassidy. All right. FTR and Cesaro and Moxley. What'd you get it?
I call him Claudio. Yeah. Okay. So Moxley and Claudio, the BBC. I do call him that though, because I know. And yes,
because you're a creep and you like the reference for the porno.
I like the Pornhub reference there. Yeah. So BBC versus FTR. That's good too. You got all the letters and all that shit. I gave it 4 stars. Really loved it.
I gave it a
few
big
minutes of that. Outstanding.
Thumbs up. Thumbs up. That's right. Thumbs up. Controversial. That's if you're not watching, man, you're not watching. All right, the girls match. Let me go ahead. There we go. Look, just
we don't have to spend much time on it. 1 3/4 for me. If you're holding me to the worst match of the actual PLE, this was the worst match of the PLE for sure.
I am. Those 0 hours don't even count. Sometimes, don't even count. All right, and by the way, we had Ospreay and hold on. And you know what I'm going to say about this one?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Thumbs up. Thumbs up.
5 stars. It was a great match. It was my must-see. You have to go out of your way to see that match. I am a Will Ospreay mark these days, for sure.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You and Dave could have a threesome with Ospreay.
I have good company. If I'm with Dave on that, I have good company.
Oh, God. Yeah, I know. You, Dave, the only people alive that gives matches plus 5 stars. That's not good company. All right, here we go. Swerve Joe and the mustache.
I think we're going to disagree on this one. I really do. I gave it 4 stars. The work in this match was outstanding. I just thought they worked so hard. Didn't give me the finish I was wanting or expecting, and Paige beating up the referee. There was a lot of good stuff in this match, so 4 stars for me.
I gave it thumbs down. If I was giving stars, and Lance, I don't give stars anymore. I gave it like 3.5.
Trademarked the thumbs and up and down.
Thumbs up, thumbs down. It had something to do with the finish. Just wasn't happy with it, and it usually doesn't matter to me. But I think it's because I'm such a Swerve fan, and I just really a mark. I want him to win. That's what I want to happen.
Hit row. Hit row, hit row. Hit row. And if you didn't know nothing, hit row, hit row. And we gon' get those,
We got a copyright on that. Stupid me.
Remember when Hit Row was my rising stars? Hit Row.
Yeah, and all of them suck except Swerve.
But Swerve's going to be the champion of AEW before
Dollar. He has a job, and she has a job too. So hey, you can't if they're working for a promotion.
They all do. So
yeah, I don't even know about the other one. So
the main event.
Thumbs up or thumbs down.
Yeah,
you know what
no
I'm going to
surprise
say.
Here. I had that one at 4.5. As a match, 4.5. Obviously, as a spectacle of Sting's retirement, off the charts. But
could have been better. Could have been. Yeah, but even I shit on the they didn't have to do the glass thing, but everything was just what it should have been. I loved his kids being there. I had no idea it was his kids at first. Just loved it. Loved all of it. I gave it thumbs up. And so for the pay-per-view, thumbs up or thumbs down?
Definitely thumbs up. My average score was 3.32 stars. There was very little.
Oh, that's not good. Yeah.
No, 3.3 is good because there was only the 2 really bad matches. There was the 2 bad matches. The meat match pulled it down, but there was a string. Let's see. You go with FTR was a 4. Ospreay was a 5. The title match was a 4. I know we disagree on that. And then the Sting match was a 4.5. So a lot of good stuff in the last hour and a half of the show.
Thumbs down for the show. I only gave thumbs down for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the matches, thumbs down. So
Wow.
the show is thumbs down. That's 3 in a row, and I really want to give it thumbs up, but just questionable what they're doing. Thumbs up for Lance, and thumbs down for me. Before we leave, I just want everybody to know we have a special guest that's going to come on just real quick.
Uh-oh. Yeah, get off the screen. Get off the screen. Off the screen. No, get off the screen. Baby, dance it. Woo, woo. She ruined my fantasy season. Get out of here. Don't ruin my fantasy baseball
What did you just say?
She ruined my fantasy football season.
How did she ruin your fantasy football?
Travis Kelce sucked this year. He sucked.
He did not. He's a Super Bowl winner.
He was my first pick of the draft this year.
Thank you, Taylor. Thank you. Thank you.
Don't even come near my baseball draft.
Thank you.
Scumbag. Get out of here with your boring music. That Kenny Omega, 1,000% more.
That's what people were thinking. Hey, Dan, don't talk about her music. I love Taylor Swift.
Taylor, boring.
I love her. I love her.
Audio
if I could have her and just listen to her, Jelly Roll, and Post Malone, I wouldn't even have to have any music.
You could get rid of me.
At least I listen to music that the artists are from at least sometime in the last 5 years. You only have one guy you listen to like that. All right, guys. The record store later on this month. Stick with me, Lance. I got something to ask you. And y'all, thank you for Patreon. We always have a really good time. I do like Lance. I know sometimes you might feel like I don't. But he just loves that AEW and that Ospreay. And I do too, though. I love Ospreay. All right, we're out of here. Bye.